To a village there once came a stranger who was an acquaintance of the mayor. He arrived on horseback and rode into the village. This was an interesting event for the villagers, and they ran out into the street to watch him. He put his horse in the mayor's stable and stayed in his house from Saturday evening over the Sunday. On the Monday, he wanted to take his departure and asked for his horse. The mayor said,
"You came here on foot? You had no horse."
To every protest, the mayor replied, "You had no horse." Finally, he said,
"Very well then. We will ask the people in the village. They must have seen you when you arrived."
Thereupon he called the people together and asked them whether they had seen the man arrive on foot, and they all said yes. When everyone had affirmed this, the mayor said,
"Now swear to me, all of you, that this man came on foot."
And everyone swore that it was so. The man was therefore obliged to leave the village on foot without his horse. After a short time the mayor rode after him bringing his horse. At this the man replied, "What was the purpose of this comedy?"
"I only wanted to present my community to you."
In this episode, we will delve into the deeply esoteric nature of the demon Mephistopheles, a figure some of you may recognize from mainstream entertainment,
You're too late.
but who has far deeper significance. The name Mephistopheles is derived from the Hebrew words Mephis, meaning destroyer, and Tophel, meaning liar. Over time, Mephistopheles evolved into a central figure in Christian demonology, often depicted as a devil or demon who tempts humans to forsake their souls. The name Mephistopheles entered broader public consciousness through Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's Faust, published in 1808. Interestingly, Goethe, an occultist with ties to the Rosicrucian order and a deep fascination with alchemy, had an extensive collection of alchemical texts. Alchemy's symbolic language and spiritual dimensions provided Goethe with a framework for exploring self-transformation and the pursuit of inner knowledge. This quest for inner knowledge likely inspired Goethe to write and warn about Mephisto. Given that Goethe's Faust is rich in symbolism, what can be found by delving deeper into its symbolic meanings? To do this, one must first know that symbolism is used to describe the forces from higher dimensions that manifest the seen material effects. The ancients recognized this wisdom, understanding that the manifestations of various animals were the result of hidden forces in nature. Consider thoughts. Everything you create must first exist in your thoughts before it can manifest physically. Thoughts can also appear spontaneously, similar to how a two-dimensional being would perceive a three-dimensional one. With this self-evident rule, we can know that higher forces manifested the human brain, the pinnacle of evolutionary development. The brain is also divided into two hemispheres. The left hemisphere, known as the seat of intellect, is responsible for logic, reasoning, language processing, and mathematical computations. And at a point of time where man is so in love with his intellect, one might ask, what causes this often blind love? This question guides the seeker back to the forces of Mephistopheles and the Akashic records. The Akashic records are believed to be a key to deeper spiritual understanding and enlightenment, revealing the true nature of reality and the interconnectedness of all things. Seen as a symbolic representation of collective consciousness, accessing the Akashic records requires a heightened state of consciousness, achieved through rigorous inner development and purification. The seeker must engage in practices that elevate the soul and align it with moral integrity. One of the few individuals who achieved this access was Rudolf Steiner, the founder of anthroposophy. In his writings, Steiner shares his fascinating explorations of the Akashic records, detailing the powers and effects of Mephistopheles. We are now living at a time where certain beings must inevitably be known to us. If the connection of Mephistopheles with human evolution is not perceived, danger lies ahead, for it is just when it's not perceived these forces can operate most effectively. Mephistopheles influences the human intellect through the realm of thought, aiming to dominate it and trap human souls in materialism, thereby preventing them from realizing their true potential. This places a great responsibility on individuals to maintain control over their own intellect, striving to harness their intelligence for higher purposes. For Mephistopheles takes full advantage of moments when in full waking life, a man falls into a state where he does not feel securely anchored in the physical world and begins to yield himself into the whirl of the universe, when he does not stand firmly on his own feet as an individuality. These are the moments it behooves him to be on his guard. Otherwise, it is these moments Mephisto gets the upper hand. When man uses his cold, calculating intellect without the counterbalance of the heart, he gives power to Mephistopheles. For the one who looks for the deeper causes in the material realm, he will notice this effect through inventions. While inventions are not naturally harmful, they inevitably become hazardous to humanity when created only using intellect. Individuals should therefore use their intellect to understand the hidden causes from behind the veil. Goethe's Faust and other mystery plays were written to help people perceive these connections. By applying intellect in this way, one is protected from the possessing powers of Mephistopheles. There is also a mysterious connection between the higher forces of intelligence in the beings who serve Mephistopheles and the forces of man's lower nature. These forces can be observed via music. Demons and the devils have always been depicted with horns. These horns symbolize man's lower animal nature, trapped within the earthly. These horns are also the hand sign for rock music, though most people remain unaware of this symbolic connection when making this hand sign. In this picture from a rock concert, people are making what they believe is just a cool hand sign, while simultaneously enthralled by these lyrics. Master of puppets, I'm pulling your strings, twisting your mind and smashing your dreams blinded by me. You can't see a thing, just call my name, 'cause I'll hear you scream, Master, Master. Steiner also writes about the incarnation of Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles' incarnation is not merely a myth or an abstract concept, but a real and imminent event. He will incarnate in human form within the 21st or 22nd century, exerting his influence more directly than ever before. The preparation for Mephistopheles' incarnation is a deliberate and meticulous process, and can be seen in various aspects of modern life. One of the primary means of preparing for Mephistopheles' arrival is the relentless advancement of technology. While technological progress has brought numerous benefits, it also fosters a materialistic worldview that detaches humanity from spiritual realities. The emphasis on artificial intelligence, robotics, and digital interconnectedness serves to root human consciousness more firmly in the material realm. This technological surge, devoid of spiritual guidance, paves the way for Mephistopheles' influence, promoting a society that values efficiency, productivity, and empirical evidence over inner wisdom and moral integrity. Economic and political systems have been shaped to facilitate Mephistopheles' goals, reflected in the short-sighted, relentless pursuit of economic growth. Politically, there is a growing trend towards centralization of power and the erosion of individual freedoms, preparing the ground for a society where Mephistopheles' authoritarian and controlling influence can thrive. Culturally, there has been an evident shift towards entertainment and media that glorify material success, superficial beauty, and transient pleasures. This cultural milieu distracts individuals from seeking deeper spiritual truths and fosters a sense of emptiness that Mephistopheles will exploit. Social media, in particular, plays a significant role in this preparation, encouraging superficial connections and validation through external means, rather than fostering genuine human relationships and inner growth. Ultimately, each individual bears responsibility for their own spiritual preparedness. By cultivating an awareness of Mephistopheles' influence and striving to live a life of balance, integrity, and spiritual awareness, one can contribute to a collective resistance against his impending incarnation. Recognizing the signs and symptoms of Mephistopheles' preparatory work enables individuals to make conscious choices that align with higher spiritual principles, rather than succumbing to the seductive allure of materialism and intellectual arrogance.